Tonight in The Price of Freedom, we take you to Georgia. For a lot of men who graduated high school in the late 1960s, they had a decision to make. Our country was in the middle of the Vietnam War. The draft was in effect. Would they be one of the many sent to Vietnam to fight the war? We talked to one Vietnam veteran who graduated high school in 1967 and then chose to enlist in the Marine Corps. Doug Wolfe says he grew up hearing family stories about fighting in combat.
Every uncle I had just about was at Iwo Jima and Guadacanal. I knew, but it just seemed like a thing to do.
This is Doug in high school in 1967. By 68, he was in Vietnam.
There's my jump wings and my scuba bubble.
I see that.
And that's 1st Recon Battalion. That's who I was with in Vietnam.
He was a Recon Marine. He would go out in small teams of 4 men.
Button hook patrols, which were clandestine reconnaissance. You go out there, you hide, you don't get compromised, and report back. And stingray operations, which were go out there and if you get a real good chance, call jets and artillery and anything else you got available in on top of them.
He was in country in Vietnam about 17 months. He did a dangerous job. He was shot down or in crashes in helicopters 3 different times. Once he was on a recovery mission after a plane crash looking for survivors or remains. The very next day they sent him out to search the area a 2nd time.
When we went back in, we were backing up to a hill in the Chinook, and they shot the rear rotor out, and it came down, hit the ground, and we flipped end over end and rolled down the hill a pretty good ways. Everyone
survived that crash. Doug says he was the only one on board who did not receive a Purple Heart. I asked him what he learned most and what was the best thing about being in the Marine Corps.
I was lucky to be with some really, really good people. And I still keep in touch with some of them. And I also learned that when you think you've used all you got, you still got a little bit left. You just have to be motivated. Doug Wolfe served in the Marines and Marine Reserves, 5 years combined in the National Guard, another 5 years. He's now 70 years old.